Hello, good afternoon. My name is Blake, and I'll be talking about drug addiction today. What led me to talk about drug addiction is my father. He has grown up all his life on drugs, and for me as a little girl, it has been very tough growing up, seeing him not there for me because of his drug problem. My mother won't let him around me. He won't even dare come around me because he just knows that his life has been a really bumpy road. For everyone who doesn't know, a drug problem can be overcome and it can be controlled very easily if you want to control it. The whole catch to this drug addiction is that if you don't want the best for yourself and you don't want to do the best, then nothing's going to become of it and nothing's going to change. And everything you do is going to reflect on your choices. And everything that happens in life is going to become of what you made it do. So many people around the world experiment drugs. From what I've seen and I've read, and my age right now is the perfect example of drug addicts or kids starting to become druggies. From what I know around the world, a lot of children, kids, teenagers, mostly teenagers in their high school years, they experiment drugs just because their group is doing it or because the people around them, they see somebody do it and they want to try it just to experiment it. Little do they know that they might like it and end up too deep to get out of it. Or some people just do it because they just want to do it. They're bored and they have nothing else to do with their lives. For me, those are just excuses because if you don't want to do it and to be bored and do a drug, I think there's a different way to go by being bored. You can do other things, create hobbies for yourself, but some people just don't know. Just don't know how to do it. And a lot of them do it either stress or just have a good time. That's the teenager excuse, that they just want to have a good time with their friends. I don't know when my dad started using drugs exactly, but he got stuck on them, and now being 37 years old, he's still on them. And I was born when he was 16 years old. So for me to see him keep on doing it and not even let me or his other children, be a reason to stop, then I know that he's just addicted and he doesn't want the best for himself. He just goes the hardest route. So it's never gotten me anywhere, and to right now I have my own son, so I can't be around him and pretend that everything's fine when it's not and leave my son next to him. For the drug use around the world can be more dangerous than what people take it to be. Drugs mess with your mentality and your view as a person. As soon as you start doing drugs and everybody notices, your whole view to somebody changes. Like if you want to go get a job, it starts switching on you and people don't want you because you don't know how to present yourself. You don't have a good presentation. Today, I will be talking about the dangers of getting involved in a drug or actually being in a drug problem already. I'll also tell you about the different methods you can do after you've used drugs or before you even try them. So let me inform you of the effects of drugs in one's life and what anyone can do to help themselves before they get into deep, and then what preventions you can do before and after you're into drugs. From the research I have seen, many drug abusers all around the world have used minor drugs to major. The increments in drugs people take in is the reaction that they will get after. If you're doing marijuana and you switch to cocaine, it is not the same. It is a very different drug. And some people do too much of marijuana to the point where they don't even get a high anymore, and that's what makes them go up and up and up and level to something else. A lot of underage kids, of course, get high more, and then what leads them to getting at a bigger age and keep staying on drugs is the fact that they've done it so much that they need more of a high. In 2012, 23 million Americans were using drugs, from medicine drugs to cocaine and marijuana, including underage children that were still trying to get through their high school years. Today, in the year 2014, the estimated cost Americans have used altogether in drugs is to be $600 million annually from tobacco use, marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and illicit drugs because of the money being spent on drugs, and a lot of people had nothing but drugs to look forward to. When people use money, and later on they start getting tired, not wanting to work, wanting to do drugs, ending up without homes, without family, because the drug has already taken over. They actually allow the drug to take over their lives and don't put a stop to it before time. According to a reading that I read, an author, Robinson, Smith, and Sassane, detect a person that is a drug abuser is if you're using drugs and is causing a problem at home, work, school, relationships, or just any problem in your life, and you're allowing it to, then you have a drug addiction, and you need to find a way to help yourself and fix it. Those are the ways that you can realize that you're a drug addict if any problems are going on. And that's the way you can spot an addiction. Now, the damage it causes to your body, of course, you've heard all the black holes you get in your brain, but there's much more than just black holes. The brain actually has a send and receive transmitters from it and to it. But when using the drug, you're confusing your brain, and instead of your brain thinking it's sending or receiving, it's thinking that it's sending twice, and it's tiring your brain out slowly to the point where you start having your high or having your downer, and it starts ruining your brain because your brain has a send-receive, send-receive connection already, to where it already has its own doing. Like, you get up every day, you go to work, you come home, you eat, and you sleep. You already have your routine, and your brain is the same way. So when you use your drugs, your routine is off, and you blow your own routine out of the way. And your brain is thinking it's doing double the duty, or does more, or does less, when it really should be balanced out. Drugs also do a lot more to your body. I've seen a lot of people have mood swings. When we're in a family event and my father's there, he tends to act really mean when he's not on drugs. And people don't want him on drugs around the family, but for us, it's better for him not even to come, because then he's the only way for him to act nice around family is to be on a drug. And for me, that's taking over your body and your emotions. You can't even control your emotions anymore. You have outbursts. You embarrass yourself. If a drug is really worth doing all that, then you are definitely a drug addict. And you shouldn't be going to places where others are going to see your view more worse than what it already is. You should be getting help. When you've done so many drugs, they start catching up to you, and you need to have a way to quit, or you need to get help. Some people do want to be with you and help you, and some people don't. When you start seeing the change in your body and seeing that your body can't cope with it anymore, then you have to go and get help or find somebody that wants to help you. Sometimes at a point when you're so caught up in them, nobody wants to deal with you, but you think to yourself you're alone, and that's why you need to be with the drugs. But in reality, if you reach out to somebody, they will reach out back, and they can help you and find you the help you need. So the drug addiction damages your body, and your body doesn't stay the same. When you decide to quit drugs, let me explain to you the ways you can overcome drugs or try to get out of drugs. First of all and foremost, when you're in high school, you got to find the right crowd. The wrong crowd can lead you into serious trauma or very, very bad drug problems. You have to be around people who want the best for you and they want to help you, not drag your life down with theirs. When you have a problem, you have to admit to yourself that you do before you can mentally want better for yourself. You need to see someone that is willing to work with you 110% to try and help you be a better and also cope with your body and the mixed emotions you will come to. Also, you have to want to change. Everybody can want it for you. Everybody can help you do it. But unless you mentally and physically want it, it's not going to get done. And nothing's going to happen unless you want it. Okay. I tried to explain to you all the different things that a drug addict could do after and before they're already on drugs, before they even try drugs. I really believe anybody can change, and if they really want to. For me, my father hasn't changed, but I've seen a lot of people cope with it, so he's just an excuse. He's just using excuses, and the thing is, you have to be around people who want the best for you, most of all, and you have to be not get into peer pressure, because if you go into peer pressure, it comes a long way, and it will bring you down. You don't have to seek down to anyone's level, because they don't care about their life or their future. You have to have your own future and find your own good spot and good health and want the best for yourself. And unless you want the best for yourself, it's not going to happen. So there's my speech, and I hope you have a nice day.